We're going to check an illustration number 1, absorption and marginal costing. Before that, let's check out if we sell 1 extra unit, what's gonna happen. We will generate additional revenue, sales, right, by selling 1 extra item, and it's gonna cost us extra unit cost for variable cost only. No impact on the fixed cost, right? When we sell more, we make profit more. Profit is going to be increased by the contribution amount of money. These are the items that happens that if we sell 1 extra unit. Let's go over the absorption costing and marginal costing. Absorption costing, we include FC, fixed cost here, along with marginal VC plus FC. That's the absorption costing. And marginal costing is VC only, variable cost only. Let's read this illustration. Graham Associates produced just 1 product in the factory. The factory has 2 production departments, assembly and packaging. The anticipated production for the next month, March, is 50,000 units. And the expected costs are as follows. Material cost, labor, 3 hours assembly at 8, so 24, and 1 hour for packaging, 6. Now look at this, more costs, assembly variable given and fixed. Packaging variable given and fixed. So all of it going to go into the absorption costing, but variable going to go into the marginal costing only. That's the idea here. Hours absorbed on the basis of labor hour. So keep it in our head. We will check out how many labor hours are there. We'll start by calculating the cost each unit using absorption costing. Okay, let's get started with absorption costing. For assembly and packaging, our total overhead is variable plus fixed is 360,000 for assembly and packaging 140. How did they get 360 and 140? I will show you the breakdown. Variable plus fixed, 240 plus 120. Yeah, isn't it? 240 plus 120. That makes you 360. And the other one is 140. That's your 140. Easy peasy. That's our total overhead, but how many labor hours are there? 50,000 units we're going to produce. Each unit going to take 3 hours in assembly department. So for 50,000 units, it's going to take 150,000 hours in assembly department. And for 50,000 units, so 1 hour needed in packaging department. That's my 1 hour in the circle. And so 50,000 hours needed. How did you get the OAR, over absorption rate? Overhead divided by number of hours. 150,000, and you get 2.4 per labor hour over absorption rate, and 140 divided by 50,000, you get 2.8 per labor hour. Now that's our OAR. Rest of the items, to get the cost per unit, rest of the items are easy. For example, direct material straight away given 20 per unit. Yeah, direct material is 20. Let me erase a little bit here and highlight 20. Direct material. Direct labor is 3 hours for assembly and times by 8, 24, isn't it? And yeah, 3 times by 8, 24 for assembly, and for packaging 1 times by 6 is 6 hours. Now these are your direct costs. These are your direct costs, but you have overhead, indirect as well. And those were given in detail, 360 total and 140 total. But how to get cost per unit? For assembly, we have found over absorption rate is 240 per labor hour, but 3 hours needed to produce 1 unit in the assembly department. So total 7.20 is the overhead per unit. And for packaging, 280, but 1 hour needed. So total here is 2.8 is the over absorption per unit. When we add direct material, direct labor, and then overheads total, we get cost per unit. Cost of 1 unit is £60. Under what method? Absorption method. But under marginal costing method, total cost, variable cost we are taking. Variable cost is 240 and 100,000. Total labor hours we already calculated 150 and 50. So 240 divided by 150,000, we get 1.6 per labor hour, and divided by this we get 2 per labor hour. Marginal costing we're doing, and it is going to be on variable. So how to get the cost per unit? Direct material, direct labor are as usual, but overhead is different. This time is 160, yeah, times by 3 hours needed. So 480, only VC being taken, that's the reason. And £2 per labor hour and 1 hour needed to produce 1 unit of packaging. So 2 altogether, when you add up, the marginal costing per unit is 56.8. Can you see there's a difference? It's a 60 pound here, and it's a, what do you call it, 56 is there. Why? Because FC not included. You know, fixed cost is treated as period cost under marginal costing. As FC, fixed cost is period cost. Over the period we show it, we don't include in the cost per unit. But here into the absorption costing, fixed cost is treated as product cost. Product cost. Fixed cost, I meant to say, is this fixed cost. Assembly fixed cost, overhead and packaging fixed cost. Well, that's all from this particular video. We have a couple of activities after that. Check out the next video on activity 2 and 3.